let me introduce you to the mighty Ganesha. Hello beautiful people, and welcome to my summer series. I don't have any pineapple for the presentation. I will use my cranberries. Welcome to my summer series. As many of you have seen on my Instagram profile, I'm into granola lately. It's because I've learned to make my own granola. Because when you want to buy a gluten-free granola in the supermarket, you're like, oh, that's an awesome gluten-free granola. $50! So I've decided to make my own granola because I've seen a video of that a long time ago. The profile was pickup lines. This girl is a nutritionist. She lives in the Netherlands. Her name is Sadia, and she's such a beautiful person. I have seen her granola making video and I fell in love. Particularly what caught my attention was this amazingly poetic and romantic way of doing the cooking class. I actually shed a tear at the end of this video. So thanks to this video, I realized that making granola wasn't that complicated. It was just like putting the ingredients together. Months later, I decided I would go for my own granola. So I didn't check any recipe like usual. I check recipes for inspiration, but when I want to do something, unless it's a very complicated thing and very particular, I rarely check the recipe. So I always do my style, and it often comes good, sometimes not that good. I try to gather all the ingredients I was able to put in my granola and started to make my own granola with what I had and what I could buy here in Mexico. So that's why this is here. This is the classical gluten-free pure corn flakes. This is not the base I would love to have in my granola, but it results that this is what I found. So when you find lemon in life, do lemonade. And then I found this quinoa. It's actually sweetened and popped quinoa. The good thing about living in Mexico is that you can find quinoa, amaranth, and chia seeds like everywhere. I have my little gluten-free oatmeal. This actually comes with maca powder and some spices. Obviously I have some chia seeds full of omega-3. And then I have my sweeteners. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I add some sweeteners like agave syrup or maple syrup, noble sweeteners, but I usually try to do things like not that refined sweet. So my way of putting something sweet in the granola is putting something that is already sweet, like dried fruit. I have raisins here, and I have some cranberries. Cranberries often come with sugar already because they're very sour, so people wouldn't eat them anyway. So this is going to be my sweetener. This comes with sugar as well. Yes, it does. And some vanilla extract. I don't have the need of adding that much sugar or agave syrup, but sometimes I do. Today I decided not to do it because I have this sweetened quinoa, the sweetened cranberries, and the sweetened raisins. No, they're not sweetened, but they're sweet. And I picked some fried bananas and chocolate. This is semi-dark chocolate. Never knew what it means when you say semi-dark. But what is interesting about this chocolate is it doesn't have any ingredients list, but it is probably sweetened because usually when you buy those handmade chocolate pieces like this, you probably have cinnamon and sugar and raw cocoa. This is how the traditional chocolate comes in Mexico. So I had a whole bunch of it, and I'm going to make little pieces and add them into my granola, and it's going to be a banana chocolate chips, cranberries, raisin granola. It's going to be delicious. Now let's go with the... No. I forgot. What you are going to need for this granola is coconut oil. People are probably going to say, oh my god, your granola is too fat. But actually, to make crunchy granola, you have to put something fat or something sweet, like agave syrup. And it's going to roast and and bake and make this super crunchy texture I love. So yeah, I prefer to go with coconut oil, like extra virgin. This is extra virgin organic de mi pueblo, from my village. And Himalayan salt, fluoride free and everything free. But there's 84 minerals in there. Can you believe it? So we are done with the ingredients. You can actually have anything you can dream of in your granola. I'm thinking of doing a fall version with apple pie, cinnamon, something super cozy. I'm so excited about fall. But first I decided to make a summer version, so banana chocolate is gonna be kind of summer vibe at the end. This is my way of making my granola. I always have a base, so in this case, the gluten-free classic cornflakes will be my base. And I have another part of my base, like I divide my base in two. I put half of this kind of filling stuff, and then I put a little bit of what I find. So it can be quinoa, it can be amaranth, it can be oatmeal. Actually, I have amaranth here. Also very, very easy to find amaranth in Mexico. So you can put anything you like. It also involves seeds and nuts. I usually put almonds in my granola, but now I want to change it a bit and put a little bit of chia. I don't have any more seeds in there, so yeah, maybe sesame, but I keep it for my weekly hummus because it's a tahini-free hummus. You can watch the video here. I think you're gonna like it. So this is my base. You can put anything you want, as I said. So you can put like different kind of oatmeals and different kind of true raw cereals you have if you're lucky enough. Then there is the natural sweetener part. Here I wanted to add papaya, dried papaya and dried pineapple, but I couldn't find any, so that's why I went with the banana chocolate. It was originally going to be the banana, papaya, and pineapple. Well, we have all of our ingredients. Don't forget the salt. You can use sea salt or Himalayan salt and the coconut oil, because this is going to make all the difference, particularly the salt, trust me. You are going to need a big bowl, like a big recipient. The more granola you eat, the more granola you'll do, trust me. First, I was going to make a little bit of granola, and then I gave to my neighbor, and we both ate the granola in the morning, and in 3 days, the granola paradise was over. So now I'm doing way more, like 1 or 2 big recipients, and then I bake it one behind the other. It's like a factory in here. And this is where I introduce my oven dishes. Now with the recipe. You are probably asking yourself, what are the right measurements? Well, actually, I don't use measurements that much. So I'm gonna go with the flow and try to find like the right measurement of what I do, but usually I do it like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it works. Okay, let's start with the base. So for the base, I used approximately half of this. It's gonna be 5 full cups of the first part of the base. Then I go with the rest of the base, which are, in our case, my classic oatmeal, and it already has a little bit of flavor. So we have 1 and a bit, and we are going to put all this quinoa, which makes 2, 3, and then we are going to add a little bit of amaranth to fill up the cup, and a little bit of chia seeds. So 4 in total.
How beautiful is this?
So basically we have 9 full cups of base, which can be, again, whatever you want. I always change. Now this is the poetic part. You are going to massage this beautiful granola so they mix perfectly. At one point I found one that had the shape of a heart. I'm so cheesy with food. Now let's use our flavoring. So the special flavoring here, fried banana. I love fried banana. Of course, these are a little bit huge, so I am going to crush them into smaller pieces. You feel so powerful when you do that. such a ninja. Because I want it very flavorful, I'm gonna put all this plátano frito natural, which is about 250 grams. Good. Now that we have little pieces of banana chips, we are going to put them in the mix. So I have 1 cup. Oh, exactly 2 cups. Now let's see with the chocolate. How am I going to cut that? So I cut the chocolate in small pieces, like homemade chocolate chips. Next time I'm going to buy chocolate chips already made. The good thing about these pieces of chocolate is that they are not made with any milk or any dairy products.
Lactose free.
Oh my god, it smells like a little bit of the bananas and sugar and cocoa and cinnamon, and it smells like Mexico. What I like about this chocolate as well is that it is very local, made by people with very small businesses, so I'm very happy to support. And then 1 cup of chocolate chips. Cooking comes with sacrifices. So now we are with an overflowing bowl of many things, and we are going to add a little bit of salt. So here I will add a little bit more than 1/4 teaspoon, let's say 1/4 teaspoon and a half. I don't know about you, I like sweet salt these days. And then you mix it again. It's overflowing! We are going to die in the flood! We are going to drown! Stay in the boat! I'm drowning! Get the rope! Okay, now that you have all your mix done and pretty oily, you are going to pour your granola into the oven dish. So if you have, like me, different kind of oven dishes, I totally recommend you to check in the oven after 10 minutes, because you might find that the shallow dish granola is already golden and the deep dish granola is still the same color. So don't leave the deep dish granola longer. This thing burns super easily, believe me, I've been there. Beautiful, the chocolate is behaving perfectly. What I do to have a bigger control over the crunchiness of the granola is to pour a little bit of granola and make a little bed of it in all dishes, shallow or deep. I don't fill the whole deep dish because it doesn't allow the granola to dry well or fry well. So no matter the dish, I am going to put a shallow layer of granola everywhere and pour those babies in the oven during 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes. So what I realized is that I didn't have to wait for the granola to become crunchy in the oven. It was taking it off the oven until it's completely cold. This is a very important phase because it's going to allow the coconut oil to stick to all the cereals in the mix, and it is going to become crunchy. That's what I didn't understand at the beginning. I took off the rack and I realized that it wasn't crunchy, so I put it more and more and more and more until it was burnt. And then when it was burnt, it was crunchy. Something I discovered for myself because I obviously didn't check the recipe. Ooh, smells amazing. It also smells like potatoes because I have a potato dish as well. When I use the oven, I really like to use every single spot I can find to bake something. After 15 minutes, take off those beautiful oven dishes full of golden granola and put them on a table or anything. Leave them in the dishes, but leave them cool. So I realized that this cooling phase was very important. And this is where you start to think,
But Agatha, you forgot the raisins and the cranberries.
No, I didn't. I actually put my raisins and cranberries afterwards, and I mix it with the already baked and cooled granola. The first time I put the raisins and cranberries into the mix and I put everything in the oven, and then my raisins and cranberries became huge and strangely crunchy. I didn't like that. I wanted soft raisins and cranberries, so now I'm adding them at the end when the granola is perfectly cool. Something I also discovered from my experience. Once your granola is totally cool, you can put it in a container. It can be a glass jar, it can be any type of container. I usually use this beautiful container. It actually holds granola for 3 servings. It's not much, but it's beautiful and it's photogenic. I also use a vulgar plastic jar that used to contain protein powder supplements, but it's not beautiful, so I hide it down there. This is for the picture. So keep your granola in a cool, dry place. And you are going to ask me, but how much does it last? Well, baby, you are going to finish it before it gets bad, trust me. Unless you're making a huge amount of granola and you store it in the wrong place, you are going to finish it every time before it goes bad. I hope you enjoyed deeply this recipe and you are going to make your own granola. You'll see it's not that hard. I waited so many months wanting to buy granola or make granola, and I'm like, no, I don't want to buy it, I don't want to make it. No, I don't want to make it, it's going to be complicated. And the day I made it, I was like, at first I was like, it's burnt. But afterwards, I was amazed by the taste of it and the noble ingredients that are used to make this granola. Because obviously, like industrials or the granola producers will use ingredients that are cheap in order to sell their granola with the cheapest price. And it is actually better to gather all the ingredients, like really great ingredients, and make it yourself. It is always better to make it yourself. So tell me if you ever do it. Of course, tag me on Instagram, that is going to appear somewhere on the screen. Agatha Decroix. And tell me all the ingredients you used, because obviously you can use a whole bunch of ingredients, anything you like. So I will be very curious to know how many ingredients you put in there and which you liked and which you disliked, and well, your own granola report, please. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click on the little bell, and I will be very happy to have you in my gluten-free family. Well, that's it. I send you much gluten-free love and light. See you next week. Bye.